CBS News chief Washington correspondent and Face the Nation anchor John Dickerson is with us from Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So where does this leave us?
Well, it leaves us watching to see if those Republicans who were nervous before about a repeal-only plan, what they do with this legislation that Mitch McConnell puts forward. You know, they started to go up this hill 6 months ago, Republicans did, and they got very nervous because while there had been promises that there can be a transition where no one will be hurt, not only does the CBO suggest that can't be the case, but insurance companies, which have to plan well ahead of any promised someday reform that might happen, make their decisions, and that hurts people in the market. So we'll see if...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see if those members of Congress are willing to make that leap that someday down in the future they can create a replacement after obviously such difficulty doing it now.
Are they prepared to leave 18 million Americans or more uninsured?
Well, yes, exactly. That's the point. And the political calculus here, of course, is on the other side, are they prepared to not fulfill a promise that they made to Republican voters, that they would repeal? But there is a real downside challenge. And also there have been, Paul Ryan at one point said no one will be worse off if there's a repeal. That's a very, very tough promise to make if they do just repeal.
The drama of how this unfolded last night is incredible to read, just as the president is hosting Republican senators at the White House, reportedly saying that the party will look like dopes if they can't pass repeal and replace. And then as the dinner breaks up, two senators who were not there put out these statements saying the deal's dead. Is it clear that McConnell even has the votes to repeal Obamacare?
Well, that's the question, is whether those moderates and even some who might not be considered moderates who were worried about a repeal only because of what would happen in this quote-unquote transition period. The notion that it can be a stable transition is very difficult because insurance companies make their own decisions and that leads to instability. How do you fix that instability? With legislation, but they can't pass legislation. And so we'll have to see who makes that decision. But it is extraordinary. I mean, we should step back. Remember that President Trump not only promised health care that where more people would be covered, they would have access to any doctor they wanted, and it would be cheaper. That was the original plan when he came to Washington. He said there would be repeal and replace, not based on anything Mitch McConnell would do, but based on his skill. He said, I alone can do it. So this is a blow to the president's ability to read the legislative landscape, and he's a marketer. That's his job. And this bill, even in the House version or in the Senate version, was never popular. The full power of the president's marketing, which did so much for him in the campaign, was not able to be used on this legislation.
Meantime, Chuck Schumer says it's time to work together on a bipartisan health bill. John, we'll see if that happens. Thank you.